Hello and welcome to another new series on the channel, and this is a big one. This is franchise mode, and this year I'm going to be picking the Texas Rangers. I'm just coming right out and saying it right away. There's some reasoning behind this. Whenever I do franchises, whenever I've played them on my own, um I like to use a team that's kind of on the lower end of the spectrum. A team that's kind of struggling, a team that's not really expected to do anything in the near future. And also, it's also kind of fun to get a team that really doesn't have any promising um, up and comers in their farm system. So obviously, the first team that comes to mind when you think of a team like that is the Baltimore Orioles. They really stink. But I'm picking the Rangers because I feel like the Orioles would be too obvious of a choice. I don't know. And the Rangers, they just don't feel like they get much attention. They don't feel like they get much love. And based on these rosters and their real life rosters, they really don't have. I mean, in any roster in real life or the show, they really don't have any shot of winning that division. It's a pretty tough division. Um, all four of the other teams, honestly. I mean, the Mariners, so far this season, they're playing above, I would say, above expectations. But the A's, Angels, and Astros are all really good teams, and actually, these rosters have these four all ranked real close to each other. The A's are 21, Angels 22, Mariners 23, Rangers 34. I don't think that's quite right, in my opinion. I think the Angels and A's are pretty far ahead of the Rangers and even the Mariners. But the Mariners this season are doing pretty good. Anyway, I don't think the Rangers really have any shot in the near future of winning the division or winning the wild card or anything. So that's most of the reason why I'm going to go ahead and pick them. They really don't have too much of a farm system either. So yeah, the Rangers are going to be the team I'm controlling for this one. And hopefully, if you look back at my channel, I've done a franchise in MLB 17 and MLB 18, and neither of them got past like the first week of the season. I haven't been too good about doing my franchise videos, but this year it's mostly because I haven't played franchise really at all since MLB 16, and I miss it. I used to be a big franchise guy, and then Diamond Dynasty became so much content, and I just get swallowed up in that. But I really want to get back to franchise. I really love franchise, and I'm excited to play it again. And I hope I play this one a pretty decent amount. So we're gonna go ahead and set these settings here. We don't want GM contracts because I don't want to get like dropped by the team after 3 years. The fantasy draft off, obviously. Free agent legends off. CPU roster control off. Ignore budgets off. CPU trading, that means they can make team. Yeah, okay. Force trades are going to be off, and designated hitter is going to stay on auto. Um, and all right, there we go. I guess that's it. I guess we're just going to get right into it. We're going to pick. I want to be in control of everything. So I'm just going to set this all to manual right here. Not even going to look at all the options. I know I want to be in control of stuff. I can switch it later if I don't. And I'm going to go ahead and start it off in the regular season. I don't really want to get caught up in spring training too much, risk injuries and stuff like that, because I think it just zooms right past it. So it actually took us to March 20th. So we're about a week or so from opening day. I'm not planning on playing the first game in this episode. I'm just planning on kind of going through the rosters and going through kind of what I hope to plan on for this series. So, like I said, we're not gonna play today, but I'm gonna go through some stuff. So the first thing I'm gonna go through is just the roster. Um, Actually, first of all, I loaded up the Operation Sports Full Miners rosters. If you don't use those rosters to play your franchise modes, you're missing out because these people at Operation Sports, and I think it's Ryden Rosters on Twitter. they make rosters for every single team, and they make it like the real players from the minor leagues. Obviously, the developers of MLB The Show can't do that because you don't have the rights to the players in the minors until they've played in the pros. But these people at Operation Sports, when they make these custom rosters, they just go through every team's full minor league roster and they create every single player, give them attributes, give them realistic attributes, give them realistic potential and all that. And they basically just make all these guys that otherwise wouldn't be available in the game, like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So if you're watching this right now and you aren't too far into a franchise or you haven't started a franchise yet, if you plan on doing a franchise, go to the roster vault and get these full minor rosters, and it'll make your experience a lot more fun. So I'm just gonna check to make sure that these are right. And it looks like it is. We got Eloy. I'm just going with the Sox because I probably know their farm system the best. So yeah, we got Nick Madrigal, Luis Robert, Dylan C. So yeah, these rosters are looking good, looking realistic. So we'll just go ahead and go back to the Rangers here, and we'll look over some things. So just right away on the MLB rosters, the pitcher. This is not a good rotation. We got I think he must be hurt in real life or something, because usually when people are hurt in real life, they knock him down to single A. He's actually a 67 overall, and he's happy, so that's even worse. Um, so yeah, we're not looking too good in our rotate. I mean, some of these guys are solid, but you don't want a rotation of all 70 overall. Like if you have your fifth or even your fourth and fifth guy is upper 70s, that's what you want, but not this. So Mike Minor is our ace to start the year. He's actually a 77 overall. This is a thing, if you don't know about morale. It basically takes a bunch of different things into account when looking at what would make the player happy. So like his role, his contract, the coaching, his performance, stuff like that. And then it gives him a little happiness boost. So here we can see for under the team role, he expects to just be kind of a depth rotation guy, which means, fourth or fifth starter. But since we have him as the ace right now, he's super happy about it. So he gets a +10 to his morale there. And then he's got a couple other things contributing to it. So overall, he's happy enough to go up +2 overall. And I don't really know what that translates to, because I don't know if it actually boosts certain attributes or if it just boosts the overall. But yeah, so that's how the morale works. So our guys, he's happy too. I'm guessing our guys are going to be pretty happy. These guys are a lot worse than they appear because of their morale. So yeah, we don't have a very promising starting rotation right now. But we do have a couple of guys that should be pretty decent coming up. We got, I'm going to say Hans Kraus. That's my guess on how you say his name. He's 20 years old. He's got an A potential, and he's already a 65 overall. So he, with our how bad our rotation is, he could be up in our rotation pretty soon. He's going to be pretty promising with that A potential. We've also got Cole Winn, who, I mean, in the long term, is probably in a better position than Hans Kraus. He's only 18, and he's already a 62 overall. In my experience with games in the past, like I said, I haven't really played franchise in a while, but in my experience, guys with A potential seem to increase at a rate of 4 to 6 overall a year. So if you just think of 5 being in the middle, by the time he's 19 next year, he'll be a 67, and then when he's 20, he'll be a 72, and then when he's 21, he'll be a 77. So he should be up there pretty early on in his lifespan, I guess, his career. He should be a pretty solid guy once he comes up. Other than that, though, we really don't have any other starting rotation guys to look forward to. I mean, Yohander Mendez. He might be the only, but he's already he's I was gonna say he's already 64 years old. He's already 24 years old, and he's only 60 overall. So I don't know if he's gonna get to a point where we can use him, but hopefully Hans Kraus and Cole Winn can develop into decent players. One thing I will admit, I don't know, I don't watch too much franchise content on YouTube. Um, I would like to, but I don't know who to watch. So I don't know if it's kind of frowned upon or not to look at what their real potential is going to be, because all it shows here on the screen, I don't think you can't see it if you go all the way over, but all it shows on the main screen is the A potential rating. So that kind of works like a standard like high school grading system, I guess. So an A is a 90 to a 99 overall, and then a B is an 80 to an 89 overall. So there's a pretty big range when it comes to their potentials. And I I like to, in the past, I've always, you go into this edit player here, you go to attributes for pitchers, you got to go to batting and fielding, and then it shows their potential rating right here. So it shows what they're actually going to be, what their actual peak is. Like I said, I don't know if this is frowned upon to go in and look at this. I don't know if it's like acceptable or not, but I'm going to do it until somebody tells me not to, basically, or a lot of people tell me not to, because I don't know, I just find it really valuable, because like I don't want to be making a trade for a guy who's a B potential and I'm thinking, oh, he could be an 87, 88 overall, and I'm getting a good deal for him, but then he turns out to be like an 80 or an 81. You know, the difference between an 80 overall and an 88 overall is pretty big. So I'm just gonna look at these guys if I want to. Ooh, I accidentally changed him. I'm not gonna save it, so it doesn't work. It doesn't matter. But Hans Kraus is only a 90, so he's barely at that A potential. So he's on the lower end of the spectrum. A 90 is still really good, though. Don't get me wrong. I just want to look at our boy Cole Winn. Also, I would assume he'd be a little bit higher. Oh no, he's also right at the 90. So continuing to look through our rosters here. You know, like I said, our pitching's no good. I didn't even see this Ariel Jurado. I don't know how that's pronounced, but I didn't even really notice him. He should get to a decent point. He's a B potential. I'm gonna go ahead and check what he's gonna be too. 80. Okay, so he's not gonna be that good, but an 80 overall. You know, with how bad our starting pitching is starting out as, an 80 overall could land him a spot in the rotation. So we got a few guys to look forward to in coming up through our starting rotation, but obviously you'd like to get that to be a little bit better. Into our bullpen, we really don't have a good bullpen either. We really don't have any sort of pitching other than Jose Leclerc. Like, let's be honest here. He's the only one who's a halfway decent pitcher. He's got some command issues, though. You can see the low walks per nine and control ratings on his stat wheel up there, but he's a good young arm out there in the bullpen. 87 overall, it says. I'm assuming. Okay, he's only one less. He's an 86. So he's a pretty solid overall player. He's going to be a good closer to have for now. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if I want to say, like, I'm keeping him throughout, because he is a B potential. So let's actually see. He's an 83. So honestly, he's already over his potential. So that kind of means he's only going to go down from here. So Jose Leclerc really isn't a guy I'm looking to hang on to. He's probably going to be more of a trade piece, especially when we're not a good team right now. You don't really need an elite closer like that, because I accidentally switched to a different team, but you don't really need an elite closer because you're not going to win enough games to get to the playoffs or anything. So you don't need that guy to shut the door at the end right now. Obviously, I would like to have a good one in the future, but right now that position doesn't really mean too much. And if I think he might be the best rated player on our team. He could be a good trade piece, because a lot of good teams are going to be looking for a closing pitcher of his caliber. And if they're willing to give up some of their prospects, that could be a pretty good trade to make. So we'll keep that in mind. We'll keep Jose Leclerc in the back of our mind for trades. We're just kind of going through the positions here, and over to catcher, we really don't have anyone here either. I guess the best one to look forward to is this Isaiah Kiner Falefa. Why does everyone have such a tough name to pronounce? But he's not really looking like he's gonna be, a crazy good prospect. He's already 24. He's only a 66 overall. If we look at his stuff here, he doesn't have an 88 potential. So that's a really solid potential. So he could develop into something. The only thing I don't like is his age. He's already 24 and he's only a 66. So he might not reach his full potential until he's almost 30. And then by that point, he'll pretty much just go on a downward spiral. So he won't have too many years of being good. So a good catching guy would be someone to look forward to. Now here's the guy we were all waiting for, the face of the Rangers, the face of MLB, the show as a whole. Let's be honest, Joey Gallo. This dude is huge. He's got crazy power. Look at that, 99 from both sides. And now keep in mind, offline or online, the attributes go all the way up to 125. Offline, they cap out at 99. So 99 power versus both sides is as good as you're going to get. This dude has some pop, and if he can get a hold of the ball, it's going to travel. As we look here at his stats, his last 2 years in real life, he's hit over 40 home runs both years. Those are both full seasons. So he's got some pop, and he's got an A potential. I know he's already 25, and I know he's only an 81. Yeah, 81 overall. So he might not get to his full potential. Whoops, did I accidentally hit release? We don't want to release him. We want to look at his stuff. So he's got a 92 potential. I don't want to say straight up that I'm going to build around Joey Gallo, but I also am really not looking to trade him right away. Like, this power bat could be huge. Even if he doesn't develop too much contact or vision, he's a good enough fielder. He's got good enough speed and incredible power. So he could be very valuable for driving in runs and just hitting dingers. So, as he's valuable to us, he also is valuable to other teams. So if there is a good trade for him, I will do it. I'm not going to say he's who I'm building around or he's one of the people I'm building around, but I'm not really looking to get rid of him during this franchise. Now, Rougned Odor, on the other hand, if I have a shot to get rid of him, I will. Nothing against Rougned Odor. It's just I don't really see him being, too valuable to the team. As we saw right there, I went into his edit player thing, and he has an 87 potential, which is really good. But same as Gallo, he's already 25. He's only an 81 overall. Literally, they're like identical when it comes to age and overall. But like I was saying with that catcher, he might not develop to his full potential until it's too late. I mean, 81 overall at 25, I guess if he goes up by... See, I don't know the exact how much they can go up by and what it depends on, but it seems like once they're at this level of like an 81 plus overall and a B potential, I don't know. See, here's the thing that I still get confused about when it comes to franchise is, does the potential rating have an impact on how fast a player develops, or does that just contribute to how high their ceiling is? Because it seems like in the past I've had guys that are C potentials that just rocket up to their full potential, but obviously they don't get past like a 75 or something like that, but they upgrade pretty quickly. So I don't know if that's just kind of a thing that's not shown, like the speed at which they develop. It'd be kind of nice if it was, but we obviously can't change that. So I don't know if the potential is tied to the speed that they develop, or if it's independent. But I guess if Odor can develop on the quicker end of the spectrum, like 4 a year or something. He'd be an 85 at the end of this year, and he'd probably reach his full potential next year. So he could be solid, but again, no one's really too safe on this roster. Now here we got another A potential guy, but he's not gonna be anything. He's 27 years old already, only 71 overall. He's got like no time to get to his full potential. This is definitely a guy I would look to trade. Not like he has too much value, but when you're looking at trades, they do place a lot of emphasis on the potential, and having that A potential could get a lot of trades going our way. So we're definitely going to keep him in mind for trades. And Matt Davidson, I kind of want to bring him up. He's I'm a White Sox guy, not gonna lie. Matt Davidson, he has a special place in my heart, and it'd be fun to use him. I'm surprised his power isn't a little bit better. I guess he didn't have huge power numbers last year, but he was a pretty powerful dude. He had a lot of dingers. He's actually 69 overall, so if we brought him up, he'd be about the same as Patrick Wisdom right now. Let's actually see what he'd actually be the exact same as Patrick Wisdom overall wise. He's just a little bit better of a hitter, but a little bit worse in the field. So yeah, I don't know. Third base is definitely a spot that we'll be looking for an upgrade. Like we were going through second and first base. Those might not be positions to place too much emphasis on when looking for people to upgrade our team. But third base definitely is. We got Asdrubal Cabrera right now as our starter, and like he's solid. 79 overall is not bad. He's actually a 75 though. He's just really happy. So we don't have a very strong third base roster here. We don't have much depth. We don't really have anyone coming up through the minors who is gonna take over as our third baseman. So it'd be nice to get a younger guy at third, maybe even someone who's a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Developed, I guess. Someone who's a little bit more established, but on the younger side. Or we can even take a chance, get a guy who's in the minors but has a good potential. Shortstop, kind of another position we need to look for. I mean, we got a couple of like these two guys might become decent, but it would be pretty far down the line if they do. 22 and 20. This guy'd probably be the one we'd look for. Christopher Sissy. I don't know. But he not really anyone to rely on. Elvis Andrus will be good for us for now. 79 overall, but he is 30 years old, so he's probably going to start that decline pretty soon. So it'd be nice to get another shortstop to look forward to. Same with left field. We really don't have we don't have any left fielder to look forward to coming up. Shin-Soo Choo should be decent this year, but he's not going to contribute once we get to our hopefully winning seasons down the line. Center field, we do have Zach Granite, who is a higher up prospect. I think he's still considered a prospect, maybe not. But he is 26 years old. He's only 67 overall, so he might not get to his full potential. Let's actually see what that is. 92 potential. I mean, that's pretty good, but I just don't think he'll get there at 26 years old. So he could be a decent trade piece. Now, this Julio Pablo Martinez guy, on the other hand, this is definitely a guy to look forward to. This is not a guy I'm looking to trade anytime soon. 23 years old, 65 overall, so he is a little bit older when it comes to looking for development, but he should have plenty of time to get to a higher overall with that A potential, and he has a potential of 90, so he's barely an A, but 90 overall is still really good. So we're going to be looking to hold on to him for now. We also got Leody Taveras, who, he might develop into something later on, but 57 overall is pretty low, so it might take him a while to be at the level we want. He's he's pretty much on the same track that Martinez is going to be on. He's just 3 years behind. Now Nomar Mazara, I'm honestly a little surprised he still has that A potential. He's been in the league. Yeah, this is his fourth year in the league, fourth full year. He puts up solid numbers. He's got 20 home runs every single year. He's got around a 250, 260 average every year. I mean, look at these 3 years. They're all pretty much identical, if we're being honest. Like, they're very similar years. So I'm kind of surprised the game still has him at an A potential, because you'd think after 3 years having such similar seasons, you wouldn't expect someone to improve too much. But this game rates him at an A potential, and it actually rates him at a 92, so that's pretty solid. So if I'm being honest, as of right now, at 23 years old and a 74 overall, he's actually 74. So right now, he might be someone I'm looking to build around. He's he's got some power against righties. He's got a very good arm. Other than that, there's nothing that really stands out. But he could he could become something if with that A potential. If he increases quickly enough, he could be solid. So after looking through this roster, we got a couple things to look forward to. Definitely a bunch of holes to fill. That's going to come with time. If we think about like the timeline here for being competitive, I don't think I'll be competitive this first year, and probably not even the second year. The biggest thing I'm worried about with this is not continuing to post it, just because of my track record of not posting consistently. But if I can continue posting this series consistently, once we get to that third year and beyond, we should hopefully be a more competitive team, fighting for playoff spots and stuff like that. So hopefully I keep going with this. Hopefully it'll be consistent. It'll be fun, because see, this here it says, I don't know why I just cut myself off while I was in the middle of a thought, but anyway, when I turned off GM contracts, the goals and the contract stuff still shows up, but it doesn't have any effect. Like, our job security is never in danger because I turned off the contracts. So yeah, I don't even expect to get that yearly goal done this year. I don't really think we'll be anywhere near 500. Usually when I do franchises, my roadmap for success, I guess, is the first year, it's whatever. It's usually not good. The second year, I usually try and improve by a decent margin. The second year, getting around 500, maybe 75 plus wins. That's usually the goal. I guess 75 is a little low, but being around 500, that's usually the goal for the second season. Then the third season is when I like to think I'm actually competing for the division or competing for some playoff spot. So hopefully we'll be able to get there at that point. So we do have some sponsorships here from Diamond Dynasty. And I'm going to go ahead, obviously, the 15,000 per home run. Definitely equipping that with Joey Gallo on the team. And I guess the 2,000 per hit, I could just equip the other 2,000 per hit, and then it'd be 4,000 per hit, or I can do 25. I'll do the strikeout one. Just get some diversity across the board there. And I still they haven't changed how the budget works, and ever since they changed it from just like a solid number of what your budget is to this cash flow thing, I still haven't been able to understand how it really works. I mean, it seems pretty simple, or at least it should be. Like, it says This is the weekly budget up there in the top left, and we should have an income in terms of budget, I guess, of 737,000 a week. So I'm thinking after every week that should deposit into the bank. And then if at any point in the year, like if we trade for a guy that's worth more, then maybe our expenditures are more than our revenues and we have a negative cash flow, but then that just taps into our bank balance. But I don't really get it because like I've done it in the past where I have a bank balance of like 30 mil throughout the year. Like I've just racked up a ton of money in the bank, and then I go to sign someone in the off season, and or sign a couple of people, and it brings me to a negative cash flow, and it doesn't let me do it. Like as soon as that cash flow becomes negative, it doesn't let me do the deal. And in my opinion, you should be able to do that if you have that bank balance, because then it just taps into the bank balance, and you should be good. You should still have the money. So I don't really understand how this works. I really hope they change it next year. But for now, this is what we've got. Shin-Soo Choo is eating up a lot of money here on our payroll, though. So it'd be kind of nice to offload him. I don't know how successful we'll be in trying to trade his contract there. $21 million a year at 36 years old and a 79 overall. That's probably not going to be too easy to trade away. But yeah, I just I don't know. It'll be nice when he's off the books. Kind of same with Elvis Andrus. He's still got 4 years to go though, so it might be better to trade him sooner rather than later. A lot of bigger contracts here for guys that aren't going to be too good, like Lance Lynn. Rougned Odor, he's got an increasing contract. That one's fine. Jose Leclerc, we're not paying him much of anything, so that should increase his trade value. Where's Gallo? Gallo's only signed for this year, so we're gonna have to re-sign him over the offseason. And I know they added in the what's it called? The extensions. But I think they said you can only do extensions in spring training and then around the All-Star break or trade deadline. So I don't think I'll be able to extend Gallo right now since I skipped spring training. But I'll definitely try and do that before free agency happens. So I'm going to look at the top prospect list here. I don't know if this is true to life or if it's just like kind of the game's AI determines it. Because I think Vlad is actually number one over Tatis. So I don't think this is exactly how it is in real life. But, obviously if I can get one of these guys, that'd be really nice. But I don't anticipate that happening. Usually it's really tough to get one of these better guys in the prospect. Usually other teams value their good prospects a lot, which obviously they should, but it's really tough to get them. I don't know if we'll even see any of our guys on this list. I keep going down, and I don't see. And there he is, Julio Pablo Martinez. He'll be our best prospect on this list, 44th. I guess that's not horrible, but it'd be nice to have some better ones. So if we have an opportunity to get some of these higher prospects, I'll take it. That'd be really nice. So that's probably gonna do it for this first episode of this Rangers franchise. The gameplays will start in the next one. We'll start off with opening day. Actually, before I sign off here, this is one thing I wanted to talk about. And I almost forgot to talk about this, but the way that I want to structure playing and simming and stuff like that is usually when I play franchises on my own or when I have in the past, I play like every other starter's start. I don't know if that's the way to. No, that's not correct. But what I do is I pitch like through the rotation with every starter, but I simulate the games in between their starts. So I've never I still haven't come up with a good way to explain this easily and shortly, but let's say Mike Minor here, he's the number one starter. So I will play opening day. This will be the first game, and this will be on the channel. I'll put this on the channel. So I'll play this game, and then what I usually do is I simulate the rotation spots 2 through 1 again. So I simulate the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth starting rotation spots, and then I simulate the first. So I simulate, what would that be, 5 games in between? So yeah, simulate 5 games in between, and then the next game that I play would be with the second starting pitcher in the rotation. So it'd be, what would it be, this game? So we have Mike Minor, Drew Smiley 2, Shelby Miller 3, Lance Lynn 4, Samson 5, and this would be the 1 spot again, which would be Mike Minor. So I would sim that, and then I'd play this one against the Angels. This would be the second rotation spot. And then I basically just keep doing that. So then this would be 2, like in terms of rotation order, this would be rotation spot 2. So I'd play 2, I'd sim 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and then I'd play with the third guy in the rotation. So I hope that makes sense, but what I plan on posting, I don't plan on posting every time I play. I plan on posting every other time I play. So what you're going to be seeing is the first game opening day, like I said, you're going to see that. And then the next game you're probably going to see is this one against Oakland, which would be our third rotation spot. So what you're going to see, hopefully the rotation will be, in terms of the rotation spots, you will see starter 1, 3, 5, 2, 4. So that should be the rotation. So it'll be 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, and then it'll start over 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, and that'll be how I post the videos throughout the year. So you're not gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like I play it with the simulations in between. You'll see 1, 3, 5, 2, 4. And then in between those games, I'm still probably going to play all the ones that I usually play, but I'm just not going to post them. But I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have critical situations on, and I think if a good one pops up, I'll play it throughout the simulation, and I'll have it recording and everything. And then I think what I'm going to do is, like, for the first episode, I'll play this game, and that's it. That'll be that. And then in the second episode, I'll show how the simulations went from this game all the way through to this game that we're actually going to play. But if a critical situation pops up, or if the game that I play independently is a good game, there'll probably be some clips from those that I'll show you as we're simulating. And then we'll have the actual gameplay be like the second part of the video. So these videos, this one is going to be an exception. This is going to be a long one. It's probably going to be close to 40 minutes just because I'm going over everything. But a normal episode length is probably going to be like between 20 and 25 minutes. I want them to be a little bit on the longer side because it is franchise. You do want to go in depth. But I don't want to make them like 45 minutes per episode because that's just a little bit long to watch and sit through. So I'll try and keep it a little bit more on the concise side, but we're still going to go through and dive into everything. And I'm going to try and show you as much as I can. So I'll be going through the simulations of the games in between, and then we'll actually play the game. So I hope that all makes sense of how this is going to work for this franchise. But I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you are too. That's it for this video. Like I said, we're not going to actually play opening day in this one. That'll be the next video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see that, because I don't know exactly when I'll be posting that. So you're going to want to subscribe to see when the episodes in this franchise come out. But I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am, because I really think this should be a fun project to try and rebuild these Rangers to where they were in what was it, 2010 and 2011 when they made the World Series back to back but couldn't win it. We're looking to win it for them in this. We're looking to build up some sort of dynasty. So I hope you're looking forward to it, and I will see you in the next one.